Welcome to Matrimonial Merger, the podcast where Ambry and Jesse, a husband and wife couple, share their insights and experiences on relationships, health, and wealth. With their expertise in business and as neuro-linguistic master practitioners, they provide valuable advice on overcoming challenges and achieving success. Join us for practical tips on navigating the intersection of personal and professional life.
Welcome to the Matrimonial Merger. Merry Christmas. If you're listening to this show, what are you doing? Go spend time with your family. Unless, of course, you're at the gym, it's early, and you want to be motivated because you know that progression's never ending. Thanks for being here. My name is Jesse. Ambry, unfortunately, is not with us today. We made the decision to give her the week off. She deserves it. Being pregnant, worrying about Christmas, not even worrying. Worrying's a terrible word, but focusing on Christmas and making it the way that she wants it to be and designing it and now going and making it happen is what her primary focus and joy is. And so to pull her onto this podcast, although she loves being here with us, and to pull her away from her flow and her zone just didn't feel right. So with that being said, I debated personally whether or not I'd get behind a microphone and share some feelings on Christmas Day. And I decided I'm going to. Why? It's because it aligns with me and who I want to become. And what started this is a good friend of mine recently has experienced, well, it hasn't even been recent, for 18 months has experienced something that has been life-changing. Implications from what they believe is the COVID vaccine. I'm not sure if that's true or false. That's what they believe, and that's what they told me. So from the COVID vaccine, it has paralyzed him from the neck down for the last 18 months, and he's slowly gaining back his momentum. It's a beautiful story to be a part of, and I'm honored. And in no way, shape, or form am I using this story for personal gain. So I just want to clarify that really quick because what I'm saying speaks from the heart. And what I thought about it, I said, what would I tell him? Like, if he was going through something like this, what would I tell him? If I had an hour just to sit down with him, what would I do? And I was talking to my wife about it. I said, what would I do to make him feel better? What would I say? And I honestly, after thinking about it more and more, realized I wouldn't say anything. I'd sit there and I'd let him say whatever he wants. I'd establish a zone. I'd say, my friend, we are in a spot where nothing you ever say will ever be repeated again. We'll never mention, discuss, say anything. You can tell me whatever the heck you want to say. If it's about me, you can tell me whatever you want to say. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit here and listen. You see, 2020, when COVID hit, dynamics changed. Isolation, coldness. We all felt it. Our friends, we kind of distanced ourselves. We didn't feel their energy very much. Everyone's worried. You sneeze the wrong way or you look at someone the wrong way, you have COVID. It was just utter chaos. Now, granted, that's coming up on 4 years, and so I don't want to go back and reminisce, but I remember in my lowest of lows during that time, I physically could go punch a punching bag. And I physically could exert myself. I could leave it all out on the bag. I could just beat the living crap out of this bag and walk away feeling fatigued, but remembering that I felt good. In some cases, you could take out chalk at this little rec center where you had to keep 6 feet distance or, 3 punching bags distance. They had chalk there that was, you pull it out and you just write it down. What is it that you want to punch away? It was great therapy for me. And I think about that for my friend, and I realize that physically that can't happen, but emotionally he needs that. There's a dark spot of us that needs to come out at times. And that dark spot is okay. It's not a rude spot. It's not a, this is truly how I feel spot. It is a child's voice that still wants to cry because they don't even know what it is they want to cry about. It is a bottled up feelings and emotions that so many people throughout life have told you not to do. You can't do that. But yet it is our innate ability in human nature to just want to burst out, open up, say how we truly feel in the moment, not worrying about anything else. And it doesn't actually mean we mean it. It's just a part of us. I think of it like a shoulder angel, shoulder devil. And the first vision that comes to my mind of that is The Emperor's New Groove. For those that have watched that show, I know you've grown up with me in the 90s. Please stick with me. If you didn't like that show, that's fine, but just stick with me. If you've never seen it, go pull it up on YouTube or think of your own shoulder devil angel. I don't really care. I digress here. But you have the one that's over there like really being nice, trying to keep you grounded, keep you level. And yet on the other side, it's like, let's break stuff. Let's burn stuff. Like, let's let out our aggression, our anger, our frustration. And sometimes I think we need to let out that emotional devil and allow that devil to experience and vocalize his or her feelings too. And it's okay. So I'm going to give you some tips on what I've done. There have been times where I just get in my car and I just say it. Say what I need to say. There are times when I just need to go for a drive and I just let it out. And then I feel so much better. There are times when I write it out. I write everything I want to say. Yeah, let me just give it. And then I walk away. Ripping up those notes, understanding that that was just a bunch of combined emotions with all certain things I'm going through. I let it go. I get off my chest. I give myself the permission at that point to get over it. You see, our body, I believe so, I don't even know how to put it. With all my heart, I believe this. Our body's a battery. It stores trauma. It stores emotions. I believe some of the things that cause our diseases in this world are stored emotions that we have not let loose or let out of our body, which has caused misalignment and caused disease or dis-ease in our bodies. I truly, truly believe it. I believe some of the things that we go through is just consistent feeling, which causes the cells in our bodies just to die and not reproduce because that feeling never goes away. And I think that allowing ourselves to feel and allowing ourselves to express is one of the greatest gifts that we have. We don't forget. We have the opportunity to process, to learn, to avoid. Unlike other animals in the world, human beings have this innate ability and this amazing gift to analyze, learn, progress, never make that mistake again if it was considered a mistake. Or they have the ability to analyze at that time what they considered a mistake to learn from it to do better next time so that they don't experience the same. Whereas those that know how deer tracking work, out hunting, the deer usually go to the same spot. They do the same thing over and over and over. We've been given this amazing opportunity to do things differently. We've also been given an opportunity to express ourselves and to be who we want to be. For 2 years, I've been on this journey and will continue to be on this journey of progressing and doing better and changing my beliefs and changing my thoughts and all the things that make up who I am. Because there truly isn't right from wrong. There truly isn't someone is better than other people. Everyone has this different, amazing gift that if we spent time learning how to work through those gifts, the world would be a better place. But instead, we talk down on ourselves because of all the stored things we have, because we haven't been able to express truly our feelings and learn to cope and get through them. And we store them and we assume and we make all these judgments about other people because this is the way that I think, but could there actually be a different way someone thinks? But we don't even process that because we don't even know inside how to express the way we think. I'm going to invite you this holiday season, if you're struggling, to just open up and be real with yourself. Let it all out. Say everything you need to say. If you can't physically go beat a punching bag, allow your words just to come out. Every single word. Give yourself the relief. You will feel so much better. The world needs you. You have a light. You have everything that you possibly need right now in your life to change the entire reality that you live in. You don't need to lose 50 pounds to be your best version of yourself. You don't need to have a full head of hair. Now some of you may be laughing because you know I don't have hair. But you don't need a full head of hair. You don't need perfect white teeth. You don't need the nice car to talk to someone you deem higher or lower than you. I promise you, you are enough. Learn who you are. Express yourself who you are. And accept that there is no right or wrong. That what other people believe may be right to them in their own model of the world, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's not wrong to you. Or wrong for you to do that. Accept, allow, understand, be curious, and your life will change. I just want to say thank you so much for listening. The best thing I could give to you as a listener as a Christmas gift are these things that I've learned myself. There's obviously trainings and there's different things that like I could share with you. But ultimately, the greatest thing that's ever happened to me is just writing down every single thing I want to become, eliminating the stories, paying attention to all the things that and reasons why, Jesse, you couldn't be the president of the United States. Well, why? And ask and learn all the challenges and then ask, but what if it was possible? And start to change the narrative. And I just sat down, and I've done it again recently. I sat down for 3 days, 24 hours of work. Just sat down and analyzed myself and realized all the limitations that were ever caused or beliefs or because I allowed that belief to keep me from doing it. When realistically, that belief was because I perceived someone to have the right answer and I was doing it the wrong way. When in theory, there's no right or wrong. There's no normal. It's my friend that's wheelchair bound, and for the moment, just in the interim, everything will change and be better. It always gets better. I want to remind you that you may feel that you're not normal right now, that other people have normal lives. However, there's no such thing. I ask myself for a number of years, why am I not normal? Because while everyone else is out with their family having a blast, I'd rather be reading a book. I'd rather be working, getting better. And I'd have my family say, that's not normal. Something's wrong. You should be with your family. And I'd believe it. I'd eat into it. And I found that it's not that I'm not normal. It's just I'm not normal to them. But that's normal to me. That's what makes me happy. And living with that and understanding that and allowing myself to make the decision because that's what I want, not because of the guilt and the feelings of other people. I can't continue to serve two masters. I have to serve myself. Being the highest priority is me. And then adhering to the things that I think are important, my values, my family, Ambry, my relationship with a divine entity that I will call God. And these are the things that are important to me, and it may not be normal to someone else because their values aren't the same. But that doesn't mean that we can't love and accept and learn from one another. A little bit different episode today. A little bit different tone. It's my reflection, and honestly, one of the greatest things for me to give to you is my insights and my thoughts from the things I've learned. Not because I want to be amazing or look at the numbers of how many people listen to this podcast. I don't know how many people listen to this podcast, but what I do know is there are people out there that listen and this helps them. And I just want to continue to give to you. And so does Ambry. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. If you're listening on Christmas, once again, I joked earlier and said, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with you. You're perfect. And there's a reason why you're listening to this and why you need it right now, and that's totally fine. That deeply resonates with you for a reason, and that's great. Same reason why I feel the need to sit here and record this episode, publish it, edit it, get it ready to go. With nothing, no value in exchange, no money made, no commercial, nothing, just pure, I need to do this. Thanks so much for listening to the show today. Hope you found it helpful. And hope you have a wonderful end of the year.
Thank you for tuning in to the Matrimonial Merger podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and found it informative and entertaining. If you did, we would love it if you could share this podcast with your friends and family who might also be interested in topics related to marriage and relationships. And if you have a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us improve the show and reach more listeners like you. Thanks again for listening to the Matrimonial Merger. We'll be back soon with another episode.